Yes, the What It Takes Radio Company is pleased to present the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. And we begin with Module Adventure 1. To be a Jesus entrepreneur, you need to choose to live differently and to be one of the 3%. Here's the story. Remember, that's right, you may have been one of the chosen. Jesus chooses. Um, if you're one of the chosen, what do you think you were chosen for? Ever thought about that? Have you ever asked him? Uh, Maybe you have been chosen for something. It might be good to find out if that might be so and what it might be. And just maybe you have been chosen to be a Jesus world-class entrepreneur. Once again, I'm Stan Houston, and now we begin. This is adventure number 1. You have to be one of the 3. Be different. And what does it mean to be world class? Well, let's begin. All right. One of the questions I had to ask all the time when I was involved in my business performance coaching, and I still do it to selected people, but when I was doing it to a larger group, a number of people would ask me because they had heard stories. Stan is one of the persons who actually invented the idea of coaching, and he had a great reputation for being quite good at it. I worked very hard at being one of the best of the coaches. A performance coach, someone who is trying to help you be a top performer. And I would get people who would call me up and say, well, you got, I hear great things about you, and so-and-so said you were very helpful, so I think I'd like to sign up to be one of your clients. I'd say, okay, let's get together and let's talk about that. And then I would simply begin by saying, what's your story? And they'd say, well, what's that? I say, well, everybody has a story. What's yours? And then it would begin, and we would have not an interview, but a conversation. Then after they would tell me a little bit about what they were hoping to achieve, I would look them straight in the eye and say, I have a very important question for you. Here it is. Are you serious? I mean, are you serious? Really serious? The world is full of wannabes. There are people who want it easy. They they want to just have good things come into their life, like you. But are you serious? Because this is hard. This is difficult. Anything worthwhile in life will be hard to obtain. So are you serious? And I ask you that question. Are you serious? Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I mean by that. First of all, I want you to know that this module will be, as all modules will be, 20 to 25 minutes, which is about the length of time that a TED Talk would take. They found out that, hey, anybody who's serious can at least listen for 20 minutes. So, 20 minutes. So, these won't be little 3 and 5 minute sections. They will be 20 to 25 minutes because if you're serious, you'll take time to listen for 20 to 25 minutes. You can take a break by just stopping the machine, but they are for people who are serious about learning. So each of the 7 to 8 modules is about 20 to 25 minutes. Are you serious? No, I will provide no workbook. Be an entrepreneur. You have a sheet of paper. Carry it with you. I like little graph because I like to do a lot of drawing. But, you write down, and by the way, get yourself a good pen. Nice pen. if you're serious about making your mark and making a good impression in the marketplace, uh, don't look like a slob. And one of the things that will be helpful is to get a nice pen. So get a nice pen, and as you're listening, or perhaps you want to stop, just write down something that strikes you. Hmm. Hmm. Really? Don't just try and take notes. Just something that strikes you. Because if you're serious, you'll do what my coach made me do. He had a program very similar to this. And he said, if you're serious, you will listen to it, you will watch it 7 times. That's right. If you're serious, you will watch it 7 times. So that you not only know it, it becomes a part of you. It actually gets into your subconscious. So if you're serious about this, being a world-class Jesus entrepreneur, you'll be thinking about doing something like that. You'll be working hard at it. And you may discover, even right now, oh my goodness, I've got some work to do. And so you will take a time out and get that work done before you continue on with maybe some other activities. This whole process may take a while. This workshop will take about maybe 3 hours. You mean you can't take 3 hours? Are you serious? Of course you can, if you're serious. But then you'll watch it again, and you'll get a friend to watch it with, and another friend, and then you'll begin to talk about it and see how you can put these things into place and into action. Again, are you serious? And that'll be one of the first things that you have to learn, is if you want to be successful. As one of my old-fashioned mentors said, everything God gives you is good, but He never gives it easy. Salvation is free. The good stuff of God, there is a price to pay for them. And want to, counsel, time, energy, work. Life is a challenge. And part of what being an entrepreneur is all about is taking full responsibility for your lives. You are responsible. You don't blame anybody anymore. You don't say, well, maybe if. If it's to be, I will be. And so I want you to understand that right now, even in this exercise of watching this class. Now, what does it mean to be one of the three? Well, let me give you some information that helped me a great deal when I decided to be an entrepreneur. One of my coaches introduced me to some work that was done many years ago when after World War II in the United States, a lot of people, obviously there were a lot of opportunities and people could find jobs and the economy was booming. But some people then began to ask the question, what is it that really makes people successful? Why are some people very successful and why are some people fateful and they fail. They don't accomplish things. They don't get it done. What goes into that? And so there was a great deal of research on motivation and what we would call success. Success is getting what you want and getting what you achieve, what you hope to achieve. And what they found is that people tended to find themselves in one of 4 categories, okay? And here were the categories. There were those people who really took the time and knew who they were. They really knew what they wanted out of life. They were living on purpose. They had a strong sense of direction. They knew what they had to do. They had a plan. And they were working the plan. Think of that description. Guess how many people fit into that category? All of that, and they even have it written down, and they think about it all the time, and it's in everything they do. They know who they are. They know what they want to be, what they want to do, what they want to have. They know what they want to become. They are very clear about it. They have a plan. They have the courage and the confidence to work the plan, and when it doesn't work, they keep trying. They are extremely focused. This one thing they do, they press toward the mark. Sounds like a man named St. Paul. Sounds like Jesus. 3% of the population, only 3, fit that category. Are you one of the 3%? Do you want to be? It would help to be. Now, 10% of the population, they have things. They've got things figured out. They take time on this. They've got some goals and things that they're working for, and they know how to work some plans, and they know how to do the projects. It's not totally as clear and quite as focused and as energized at the 3%, but they will make their mark. About 10% fit that. That's right. 10%. Well, what about the rest? 60% have hopes and wants and wishes, maybe prayers. Yeah, that would be nice. And you know what? They go through school and they go through life and they kind of find a job and it kind of works and it suits them. And they go and for the most part, they can make life work. They get through it. They hope to win the lottery. They make sure they play the lottery. Maybe that's their plan for retirement. But these are people, and obviously in this large spectrum, there are some that are more focused than others and some that are laggards. But 60% have what I call hopes and wants and wishes and some prayers they might have if they even believe in prayer. But they just kind of deal with the day, and thank goodness it's Friday because we have the weekend. And then at the end of the weekend, they say, "Now, well, I have to go back to work again." And they do that, and sometimes they do it for a long time, for many years. And then they can quit work, and then they have to figure out what they're going to do after they have quit work or retired. 60% of the population. That doesn't mean these people are miserable or bad people. It just means that they've never had the intensity and the energy and the motivation to sit down and literally ask the question that Jesus loved to ask. You know what it was? What do you want? What do you want? One of my mentors said that oftentimes, even when we as Christians pray, and we go through our list of people, and perhaps we pray in a general way, and with a smile, my mentor said to me, "And you know what, Stan? Jesus turns to you and says, okay, we're on good talking terms now. Yeah, okay, what do you want, Stan? What do you want? What do you want me to do for you? What do you want?" 60%. Hopes, wants, maybes, that would be nice. 27% don't have a clue. They just don't do that. They just kind of deal with the day when it happens. And they may find a routine, a job, a way that they don't have to make any decisions. They just simply show up, and good for them. At least they show up, but sometimes they don't. And they go through life kind of living by accident. Que sera, sera, what will be, c'est la vie. And after a long time of living, they pretty well are wherever they are, that's where they are. And that's what they'll be. And that doesn't mean in any way that they were bad people. Oftentimes they will find life difficult because they don't live with any passion, with any energy, with any purpose. They are easily discouraged because guess what? They want good things in life, and life doesn't seem to go their way very often. And when something goes wrong, they're not quite sure what they can do about it or should do about it. There we are. 3, 10, 60, 27%. You see, Jesus was a 3%er for sure. And he was choosing men and women. We believe men and women. After all, we learn about Mary Magdalene. And what he's trying to do is to turn them into men and women who are part of the 3%. People who are different. They know they've been chosen. They are discovering who they are. They are discovering what they're called to be and do. They are discovering what life is all about, and that they're going to do everything they can to bring this life about. This is fundamental. And it's so hard because you will fall off track, you'll fall off the rails, something will go wrong. But do you get back up and then try again? And maybe after trying a number of times, you find, well, this is not working, so I have to try something else. And I may have to readjust my goals. I may have to get new goals. But I will always be one of the 3%, seeking, first of all, in our situation, to better know Jesus and to follow him, to know who we are, what we are called to be, what we want out of life, who should we connect with. Every day we get up with a plan and a purpose and a way to do that day. And we give it to God, but we are ready. We are ready to live a strong and forceful and focused and practiced and disciplined life. 3% of the population live that way. So do you want to be one of the 3? Now, right now, some of you could use some work. Now, this class is a core signature class. This covers all you need to know. But there are all kinds of other things that would be good to know, and things that you need to improve on and get better on. And that's what this whole thing called the Christian Entrepreneur Network and the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience is all about. You may say, Stan, I need to be someone who can do a video production like you're doing. So good, we can help you do that. But this is the core course, the core adventure on what you need to be and do. So there we go. But now, what about this world-class stuff? Well, first of all, I want you to know that that's not a bragging point. I'm not claiming that I'm world-class. I'd like to be. World-class usually means one of the best. He's a world-class athlete. He's a world-class skier. World-class means the people who have paid the price to do what they do with excellence. Best in class. Excellence. Good work. It's not something we say we are. It's something we aspire to be. We want to be the best. We serve the man who was the best. He's a creator. He's an entrepreneur. He does good work. And we want to imitate him. We want to be just as he was, the man, the woman. And Pilate knew he was standing in front of the man who was far better a man than he. And he acknowledged it. We strive for excellence. But it also means we care, WC. We care about the world. We are not in it for ourselves. If you're a Jesus entrepreneur, you have learned the first principle, which is we are made to serve others. That's coming. The world is supposed to be a better place when we leave because we were there. We care about the world. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Why? Because Jesus cared about the world. And God does. And we are too. We care about the world. World class, WC, we connect. We cross. We connect with other people. We cross borders. We cross bridges. We cross boundaries. We connect. We learn how to connect with other people. That's vital because that's what we're called to be as Jesus entrepreneurs. And if you want to be any kind of an entrepreneur, you cross borders, you cross boundaries, you cross bridges, you reach out to connect with other people in ways that you can help and serve them. We cross bridges, we cross borders, we cross boundaries, we connect. And number three, even vital to this world today, just as Jesus did, he came from the heavenly world to this world. What a difference! We cross cultures. We are good enough to understand and smart enough to know that Jesus loves everybody. He cares about everybody. He doesn't play favorites. We're not the best in his little book of bad people, good people. We are all deeply and dearly loved. And so we make an effort to understand people in different cultures, different contexts, people who are in different situations, very different from us. To be world class means that we cross cultures, we cross into those areas where we haven't been before, we take risks, we learn, we fail, we get back up, and we do it again. We care. And we care about others. We care about the world, and we care about connecting with others. So that's what it means for us to be world class. And it's certainly an aspiration to excellence. And if we do excellent work, we'll be compensated more than likely by excellent results and excellent rewards. But not always. But that's what we strive to be. As I used to tell the young broadcasters, it doesn't matter whether you have 1 listener or 1 million listeners, you put on the same great performance no matter whether there's 1 or 1 million. You give it your very best. You are a world-class broadcaster if you work for me, and you do it every time you get in front of a microphone and every time you try to connect with another person who's a listener or a viewer. So there we go, my friends. There we are. That's adventure number 1. Remember now, okay, let's review. Here we go. Are you serious? Be one of the 3. Be different. Hey, different not just by degree, but different in kind. And then be world class. All right, think about that, pray about that, seek wisdom on that, and then we'll be ready to go with adventure number 2. Thank you.
please reach out to us. I'm Stan Houston. StanHouston@gmail.com, witradio.net, 520-664-7002, USA.